الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واعلموا أن فيكم رسول الله لو يطيعكم في كثير من الأمر لعنتم ولكن الله حبب إليكم الإيمان وزينه في قلوبكم وكره إليكم الكفر والفسوق والعصيان أولئك هم الراشدون فضلا من الله ونعمة والله عليم حكيم صدق الله العظيم. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, we were having the discussion regarding, we were discussing the details regarding a mashwara, a shura, a meeting or consultation in relation to a very important matter. What are some of the rules that are related to having a shura? We went over quite a few of these rules, or quite a number of these rules. In the shura, when the amir or the head of the shura, also known as the Faisal, the one who will make the final decision, when they request that everyone should put in their opinions, then the experts, the elders, they are the ones to first voice their opinions. Their opinions should not be just an opinion, but it should have basis for it. If they say something, they should at least have some sense, or at least mention the basis for why they have given that opinion. Otherwise, if someone just claims something, then the mashwara will never really end, as claims can go on forever. But when something is claimed, so there should be some basis behind the claim. For example, just to give you an example, a snippet of what was going on in relation to the COVID-19, so different opinions were coming. Each one was having their basis for their opinion. The medical community was giving their medical opinion that, we recommend this should happen under these guidelines. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to have any kind of gathering. When it came to the ulama and the scholars now taking the recommendation of the medical community, so opinions were voiced and opinions were mentioned. Each opinion was based on a foundation in fiqh known as Usul al-Fiqh. Some foundation within the fiqh was quoted for their opinion, and that was sufficient. Remember, the purpose of a mashwara is that you should just quote your bases. You don't need to give too much details. You should not have to have the time to explain. Because if you sit there and you try to explain every single usul or every single principle, and it can get into a lengthy discussion outside of the purpose of the shura. If someone has questions about that usul or that principle, so it is their duty to go and do their own research after the shura or after the mashwara. So some ulama were of the opinion that it is not appropriate to close masajid if we don't need to. We should make an attempt to try and keep them open, following those strict guidelines. Cleaning after every salah or after every gathering, not just salah, but cleaning and sanitizing after every gathering. Having the masks, the gloves, the socks, contact tracing, following social distancing, and so on and so forth. Whatever was mentioned by the medical community to the best of what was allowed or what was allowed within the rules of Sharia. The second opinion, which was a much stronger opinion, was that the masajid should close, because if we cannot allow certain groups to come, then you cannot really prevent someone from fulfilling their faridah, especially when it comes to the Jum'ah salah. If the masjid is open and someone misses Jum'ah without a valid reason, and there was details given of valid reasons, so it makes it difficult. That person can become sinful, or the people who are preventing them from coming can become sinful, if there is really prevention and banning going on. Details are given from the books of hadith, 4 books of the Sahih Sitta. We have 6 most authentic books of hadith. Out of these 6, 4 books of these 6 most authentic books, amongst them is also Sahih Bukhari. We have even the adhan, where the words of the adhan are even changed to as-salatu fi buyutikum instead of hayya ala as-salah and hayya ala al-falah. You have as-salatu fi buyutikum or sallu fi rihalikum in other books come. Pray in your home, or salah will be done at home, or pray in your places, or salah will be in its places. As-salatu fi rihalikum. Now I'll just mention, we don't need to go too much into detail in that. Now came the part of discussion. This is the next thing in a mashwara. You're allowed to have a discussion and even a debate, provided you follow the rules of the debate. The rules of the debate is, just to keep it very, very simple, you should just defend your position and opinion, and you should not get outside of that defense of opinion, meaning you cannot have any kind of go into personal issues or go into someone else's background. No. You just defend your position that, look, this is the position and this is why we say this. The side was saying we should not close the masajid, we should follow those. They presented their proofs. The other group also presented their proof that you should close the masajid because you cannot even stop a sick person from coming to the masjid once you leave it open. At the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, a sick person who could be taken to the masjid with the help of 2 people, if that sick person wanted to pray in the masjid, so they were helped by 2 members to even go to the masjid and pray salah in the masjid. And this was also a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam himself. Now when he was sick, with the help of 2 sahaba, they took him to the masjid and he even led the salah sitting down. And you can read about this in the seerah. So once you leave the masjid open, you have to open to everyone. That became a whole other issue, that people's lives are in danger, and there was a debate going on back and forth that You may be able to stop a group or not stop a group. Anyhow, after all of the discussion and even the rules of debate on a very limited scale, the Amir decided that now we need to apply some basic logic behind both opinions. What is the logic? Now you have what Sharia allows. Basically, you have the medical community, they've given their opinions. Now you have the Islamic ruling, they've given their opinions. This is where the Akhlaq now comes, where each side has to be very careful in how far they go in their defense. They should not become personal in their attacks. So now came the decision that, listen, let's be frank and let's just be logical. That what can we do? Which one is more feasible and which one is not feasible? That's where it's important in the Shura also that you have to look at the current situation. This is why in Islam, because current situation will often at times require a different fatwa from locality to locality. I want to make this very, very clear. So one should not get under this impression that in some locality, in some city or the next door city, even next door, your neighboring city, something is happening. It must happen here also. That may not apply. It may not be the case. In most cases it can be, but that's not generally the case. So when you start to apply what is possible in locality, first of all, can we stop someone from the masjid or not? Let's come to the logical aspect of it. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he had the authority to stop someone if they had bad smell or not. And even then, they were just told to not eat that before the salah. Have we been given that permission in any clear hadith or in any clear text? No. We can encourage someone that there may be danger for you, don't come. That's the farthest we can go. We cannot force someone or ban someone or even take someone out of the masjid. And there has been many cases. Even there was a kafir, a disbeliever, who came and arrogantly even urinated in the masjid. Some of the Sahaba wanted to take action against him, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam told him to wait, let him finish, and then explained to him the hurmat of the masjid, and that person then later accepted Islam. So we have to be very, very careful what kind of actions we take. Unless someone has been clearly mentioned in the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that we can stop that person. Other than that, we're not allowed to clearly or ban someone from the masjid. There have been some groups, for example, someone who is mad, they have mental illness. So for such a person with mental illness, mental disorders, so you can stop them. They can become harmful to the members of the masjid. There's particular hadith about that. For very little children, as they may become difficult in situations, it's just particularly a situation we're in, to even contain the children, to keep us 6 feet distance or social distancing. Children don't understand that. And since the salah is not fard for them, so there was logical elements that were mentioned. So since we could not stop someone, the next point came, okay, is it logically possible that, okay, even if we allow people to come, you have social distancing, what is the feasibility of cleaning the masjid that many times a day? That became a whole other issue in itself. The danger to life obviously was very, very high. So the logical element came that now we were requested that, does our locality match any situation in other localities? Is there any locality very similar to ours that we may be facing? What have they done? Go throughout the world. Even in Muslim countries, Masjid got closed. From the east of Malaysia to the west of California, we started realizing this was happening. So in the Shura, it was just decided that based on all of these factors, that we cannot restrict the age, especially for someone who is Salah is fard. Even the elders, you tell them not to come, they're the first ones to show up. It happens in all the cases. So we decided that the best one was the shura, and with the council mashwara, decision was to close the masajid. Now comes the next part of the shura, which is very important. Once the mashwara is made, a decision is decided. Now what happens? Once everything is implemented. The members who are in the shura, remember this now. This is the next ruling in the shura. If your opinion was taken and accepted, then the person whose opinion is taken and accepted must start doing istighfar. They should start saying astaghfirullah, that, oh Allah, please forgive me. Why? Because many a times we present our opinion, but we as human beings, we have faults that we do not see everything. And many a times our decisions, we do not see the harm of our decisions or our opinions. We don't have that kind of ilm or that kind of knowledge. There may be many, many dangers in the opinion that we presented that we did not see. So once the opinion is accepted, you do istighfar, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. And this is taken from the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is what is akhlaq. Now we're talking about akhlaq. Character. In the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, after the battle of Badr, go back and study the seerah and read the seerah. After the battle of Badr, there were many, many captives from the non-Muslims, that the Muslims, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they had captured many of the disbelievers. They had prisoners. They were POWs, prisoners of war. So a debate started amongst the Sahaba radiallahu anhum what to do. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam brought his council of Sahaba and asked them, what should we do? These prisoners of war, should they be put on death sentence and killed? Or should they be forgiven? Some price should be paid. We can make money off of them by selling them back, sending them back to Makkah, making money off of them. Which both opinions are allowed by Sharia, by our deen in Islam. Both opinions were allowed. So now two groups came. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with this opinion that take ransom for them, free them. They're our brothers, they're our cousins, they're our family. At the end of the day, we should not be harsh. Islam teaches us to be very kind. Even though they attacked us, we should extend the courtesy and let them go. Take ransom, free them, let them go. The ransom does not necessarily have to be money. It can be anything else. Sayyidina Umar al-Faruq radiyallahu anhu, he came. He said, listen, kill all of them. They should be put to death. They attacked us. They put our lives in danger. They put our families in danger. They put the people of Medina in danger. They did not leave us alone. They came of their own accord. And the matter is dictated, and if you have trouble saying that there may be our family, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he pointed to the prisoners of war. He said, you see that person over there? That's my cousin. Give me permission. I will deal with him first, so the rest of them are easy for you to take out. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, his opinion was there. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he smiled. He says, such opposite opinions. And he said that I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he gave me such sahaba, that one is like Isa alayhi salam and the other is like Nuh alayhi salam. Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, Jesus peace be upon him, when the kuffar disbelievers came to kill him or crucify him, he was making dua for them. In tu'adhibhum fa innahum ibaduk. Allah, if you punish them, they're your servants, but if you forgive them, who can challenge you? You are Al-Aziz Al-Hakim. Kind of making dua in their favor. And Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, he was making dua against his qawm that, oh Allah, this is my nation, they're not ready to believe. So when you send the adab or punishment, make sure you don't leave a single house of theirs. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, his opinion was very much like that of Isa alayhi salam, that we should forgive them and we should show mercy to them. And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, his opinion was very close to that of Nuh alayhi salam, that these are people that they're not going to believe and they've attacked us, so let's just deal with them. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was rahmatul lil alameen. It's mentioned in the ayat of the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have not sent you except as a mercy for all of the worlds. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in his heart, he was very, very kind, very merciful. So he accepted the opinion of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, and he went and he forgave the prisoners. And he said, we'll take ransom for them. If someone is poor and they cannot have ransom, or we cannot get ransom, so then that person should teach a particular amount of people how to write or some skill they may have. So it was a trade-off on wealth or skill. So everyone was happy. And that's the next ruling in a mashwara. Once the decision is made, that's it. No one should hold ill will against the decision. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he went home, he was fine. For the next salah, when Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu came the next day, next morning, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was weeping, and Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he was also weeping. And they were really like weeping and crying. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, okay, why are you guys crying? Tell me why you're crying so I can also sit down and cry with you. Why are you crying? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said the ayat came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you did not have the right to forgive them. That it was not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was telling Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that why did you forgive them? These verses are in Surah Al-Imran, that you did not have any right to forgive them. You should have taken the opinion of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. And if it was not for the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there would have been very dire consequences. I'm giving you the gist of the verses. So it became clear from this incident, again, the decision was not taken back. Once the mashwara is made, the decision is done, it was done. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he took the decision and stuck to it. But this was the lesson for us believers, that even if our opinion is accepted, we should not become proud and happy that, you see, I'm so smart, my opinion was accepted and my opinion was good. No, we don't know. So this is the lesson that was taken from this incident. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed this to happen so that we Muslim can get, we the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam can get a lesson from mashwara. That when a mashwara is made, if our opinion is accepted, we should not become arrogant and happy and say, you see, my opinion was so good and my arguments were so, and I'm such a smart person. No. We should do istighfar, that maybe there's something I don't see. Because from the Battle of Badr, this was kind of an understood meaning from those verses, that had they killed those prisoners, the Battle of Uhud would not have happened. The kuffar would have thought twice to come back and attack Medina the second time. But because the prisoners were forgiven, ransom was taken, all of them were let go eventually, the disbelievers in Mecca got the message that, we can go back and attack again. Even if we're captured, they'll free us. What's the worst that can happen? So they didn't have that fear in their mind that if we get captured, something will happen to us. So this became the understood meaning amongst the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. So also in a mashwara, this is the lesson we take, that if our opinion is accepted, then we should do istighfar. We should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. Inshallah, we'll stop here. I think I've already gone over time. I was trying to cut it short, but some of these points are very, very important as far as akhlaq is concerned. Inshallah, we'll stop here. Just want to mention one hadith related to these last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. We have come to the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. Tonight, I believe, is the 20th night, if I'm not mistaken. It is the 20th night of the month of Ramadan. These 10 nights are the nights for which we should seek out Laylatul Qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even tells us in the Quran, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. But definitely we have revealed this Quran in Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr means the night of power, the night of value. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. What will make you understand what is Laylatul Qadr? What will make you understand what is the night of power, the night of value? Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months. This night of power, night of value, Laylatul Qadr, it is better than 1,000 months, 83 years and 4 months, the average lifespan of a human being. This one night is better than the lifespan of a human. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has told us in a hadith, من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whosoever fasts in the month of Ramadan with belief and hope for reward, all of their previous sins will be forgiven. ومن قام ليلة القدر إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. And whosoever stands on Laylatul Qadr with belief and hope for reward, all his sins will be forgiven. And standing means standing in ibadah, worshipping in salah, or in other forms of ibadah, whatever ibadah we might be able to do in that night. There are many different types of ibadat we can do, but the month of Ramadan is the month of the Quran. And Laylatul Qadr is the night on which the Quran was revealed, or which in that night the Quran was revealed. So that is the night that we should spend the most time with the Quran, standing in salah and reciting Quran. Or if we're not able to stand in salah, then at least continue reciting the Quran. As much of the Quran we can recite in that night. Any good deed that we do that night will be multiplied as if we did it for 1,000 months. And that again is just for our understanding, because we can't even comprehend the reward of 1 year. How are you going to comprehend 83 years and 4 months? And Laylatul Qadr is not equivalent to 1,000 months. It is better than 1,000 months. And what is the real value of Laylatul Qadr, we don't know. What we do understand is that there are some a'mal, some righteous deeds, that their reward is for us in this world. And there are some righteous deeds that if we perform them, the reward will continue even after we leave this world. Amongst the righteous deeds that we perform where the reward will continue even after we leave this world is the amal of sadaqah. Especially sadaqah jariyah, charity which the reward continues after a person leaves this world. And that includes building masajid, or that includes maintaining the masajid. Any type of charity, any type of donation with which the reward can continue even after we leave this world. What the reward will be giving in Laylatul Qadr, subhanAllah, that will be much, much more. So we should be extra vigilant in doing these kind of a'mal. Along with our ibadat, also continue doing those a'mal that the reward will continue even after this world. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about sadaqah, which is amazing. الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. They are those righteous believers who give in times of difficulty and give in times of when they're in well-to-do. That's one. The other one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Baqarah, الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ. The believers are those who give from their wealth night and day. The night is mentioned first. Because the Laylatul Qadr, when it happens at night, and we don't know which night it is. But we know that it is in the last 10 nights. If you want to really narrow it down, we know it's in the last 10 odd nights. But we know it's in the last 10 nights. So whatever a'mal we can do, as many good deeds we can do in these 10 nights, continue to do them. Especially during this Ramadan, that we're not able to spend the time in the masajid. And we're not able to be connected to the masajid in this Ramadan. We should be even more vigilant. And we should be even more careful and more strong in our a'mal. This is the test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that were we only doing righteous a'mal because we were in the masjid, or will we continue to do those righteous a'mal even if we're not in the masjid? That's the test. We don't realize how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us in every situation. So now that we are not in the masajid or unable to go to the masajid because the masajid are not open, what is our reaction? And what kind of a'mal will we perform? We live in a time and age where you can give sadaqah at night and you don't even have to be there. There used to be a time where you had to leave your home and you had to go and you had to find someone and give them your sadaqah, or you had to go to the masjid. If the masjid was closed at night, oh well. MashaAllah, now we have something called a credit card or something called a debit card. And there used to be a time where you had to find somebody who had that machine to swipe your card. Or now you don't even need that. MashaAllah, you just give them the number on your card. They also ask you for your security code or whatever they ask you, and then MashaAllah, it's done. In the comfort of our home, we're able to give sadaqah. Subhanallah, what a world we have gone to. There used to be times where this could not even be imagined. Now we're in the comfort of our home with one phone call or one message. You can message your local masjid that has this system and just give them your number. And I request that whatever amount you want to give, just split it into 10 and give that amount every single night. We don't know which night is Laylatul Qadr, but if we give it in those 10 nights, we definitely gave it in Laylatul Qadr, yes? Right? We definitely. If we were told, if you're given 10 boxes and we're told that in these 10 boxes, each one is equal weight, that in these 10 boxes, 9 of them have sand and 1 of them has diamonds that are worth in the millions or whatever, it can be very, very wealthy. And you're told that you have 2 options. One option is you can guess which box it is, see how good your guess is. And your second option, you can take all 10 boxes. Which option will we take? We know common sense. You don't even have to be very wise. Just common sense will tell you, you know what? The fact that we're given the chance to take all 10 boxes, we'll take all 10 boxes. Similarly, why would we even guess? Even if we're like 99.9% sure that it's 1 box, we'll say, just in case I'm wrong. That 0.1% chance in my mind that I might be wrong, let me just take all 10 boxes. So we're told that Laylatul Qadr is in these last 10 nights. Which night? It's in the last 10 odd nights. Which night? We don't know. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he did not specify one night for us. He told us seek it out in these 10 nights or these 10 odd nights. What should we do being wise? We should just take advantage of all 10 nights. Do that ibadah which you can continue doing in all these 10 nights. I give you some easy ibadah. One is sadaqah. Just give it on every single one of these nights. Very, very important. From the time the Maghrib Salah is done, you do your iftar till sunrise. Try to do sadaqah in that time. That's one thing. Just make sure that if the person you're calling to give your sadaqah, that they're awake at that time. You should not be bothering the people of the masajid. Sometimes they also have taqah that they may be resting. Just make sure. But even then, you can bother them. They might be happy that you're giving, Okay. The second thing is that listening to the Quran. If you're not able to read the Quran all night long, you can listen to the Quran. Alhamdulillah, we have this program. Inshallah, we'll start in a few minutes. I know I'm going a few minutes over, but these are very important nights. We have this tilawat every night. We have this at this time. We have already reached the 22nd juz. Inshallah, tonight we'll be reciting the 22nd juz. And in the morning at 3 o'clock, alhamdulillah, we finished the 11th juz. 1/3 of the Quran is done. So from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in 1 hour, we complete 2 juz of recitation. Sometimes we get this idea that, oh, I'll just turn on some tape recorder. It has a whole different feeling when someone is live. Very, very different feeling. So we'll be able to recite the Quran and have a recitation of 2 juz. Tonight, I believe we'll be reciting the 12th and 13th juz tonight, inshallah. So we have, and every night we have this. So if we're not able to sit down and recite 2 juz, remember, listening to 1 letter from the Quran, the reward is 10 times. 10 reward. That's minimum in regular times of the year. In the month of Ramadan, the reward is already multiplied by 70. And then in Laylatul Qadr, how much it's multiplied for 1 letter. And how much Quran we may be able to recite ourselves. But when we have in a community, in a gathering, in a group, and we're listening to the Quran, just imagine how great the reward is. So we should not be deprived of this reward. And from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, then after that we even have time to do some tahajjud, and we have time for suhoor. Don't worry, mashallah, we give you almost more than 1 hour for suhoor. So plenty of time to do so much ibadah, and spend these nights, and also spend these nights in dua. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our a'mal, and to remove this great difficulty and calamity from us, and remove it from humanity. So these are the great, great chances that we're able to take advantage of. And we're able to do all of this in the comfort of our homes. MashaAllah. How the world has become. What more could we want? Sitting in the comforts of our home, we're able to gain so much reward. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our a'mal. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq and ability to take the maximum advantage and benefit from these 10 nights, these very, very blessed 10 nights. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save all of us from this difficulty and this calamity that is going on. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ.